How many of you saw that movie Diwar? Of course, all of you. And how many of you remember the dialogue between Amitabh Bachchan and Shashi Kapoor, you know? He says, Amitabh saying, मेरे पास बंगला है, मेरे पास गाड़ी है, मेरे पास घर है, मेरे पास नौकर है, चाकर है, तुम्हारे पास क्या है? And Shashi Kapoor is saying, well, मेरे पास माँ है. 2018, the dialogue has changed. Mumbai. Amitabh says, मेरे पास Jaguar है, मेरे पास Bentley है, मेरे पास Ferrari है, मेरे पास Lamborghini है, तेरे पास क्या है? Shashi Kapoor says, मेरे पास parking space है. Believe me, in a city like Mumbai, you know, parking space is more expensive than a car. Hand on my heart. I'm sure most of you realize this better than I do. I'm a monk, I don't have a car, I'm a bekar. You know what? This friend of mine came all across to Pune, and three of us, and this host, make us towers. We drove to Mumbai. We reached the building. He parked the car. As we came to the reception, we realized that there was a power failure. So 29 floors, ladies and gentlemen. We asked the receptionist, he said, the generator is not working. So we turned to each other, we looked at the host, he said, well, we're here for the fun when parents are not around, right? So we need to warm up. 29 floors, we warm up and then we have all the fun. Well, good warm up, man, let's go. And he said, we are young lads, let's walk up. So we started walking all the way up. And you know what? I'm sure all of you have this experience that when you're having a good time, time flies. And when you're having a horrible time, God, it comes to stand still. So we were all chatting, telling jokes, stories. It's fun. Friends. As we were walking up, we reached 25 floors up. And we realized that three of us from Pune, we were speaking and our host wasn't. He was the guy who was terrible at telling jokes. Have you ever thought of one of those guys? Do you have one in head? A guy who's so bad at telling jokes? God, you don't want to cry. You don't even want to cry when he tells you a joke. Possibly it's you. I don't know. My God. As we were walking up, this guy, this host of ours, terrible at 25 floors, we told him, man, say something. Say something, we'll laugh. And as we were climbing up to the 26th floor, this guy says, well, I forgot the key to my house in the car. Now, I was born a Jain. I believed in the philosophy of non-violence. That day I thought I should have a religion change. Because I felt like whacking this guy, you know, what the hell? Now, years later, this is one of the first stories in my book to come in September, you know. Years later, I reflected on the story. Then it was an incident. Today, it's a lesson for me. You know what? Most all of us today have climbed up the ladder of success pretty quick. 29 floors up. Financially, we are all 29 floors up. God, we have here in the hall people who have reached heights of financial success. Franklin Templeton Mutual Funds, right? I've been talking 2 weeks back I spoke at Motilal Oswal event. Today I'm at Franklin Templeton. On the 15th I'm doing an event with HDFC Mutual Funds. Can you imagine? Not a penny to me. And I'm talking to these guys who are financial giants, you know. We have indeed made a lot of progress. And if you're a Marwadi god, you don't need to invest in mutual funds. Money comes like this. A Marwadi and a Chinese man both were sitting in a local train and a mosquito sat on the Chinese man's head. He picked it up. He ate it. Then a mosquito sat on the Marwadi fellow's head. He picked it up, turned to the Chinese and said, "Kharidega kya?" You know, believe me, this guy will start business out of mosquitoes. Start a business out of mosquitoes, you know. No, I must tell you, financially we've gone up. I don't think your parents had the ability, the buying capacity that you have today. An iPhone X, God, it's dirty. You have to pay a filthy amount of money to get an iPhone X. It's good, but is it worth? Just a couple of weeks back, I had been to some place and they had booked me a presidential suite in a hotel. So I asked them, I didn't ask the organizers, I asked the hotel, what the rate was for a night. It was 2.5 lakh rupees for a night. 2.5 lakh rupees. I stayed there. Choose your career wisely. Look at this. Just joking, ladies and gentlemen.